Welcome. My name's Adam LZ. This is my YouTube channel, and if you've been a part of this channel, you've heard me hyping up this giveaway car for quite some time now. And instead of doing some super long, sappy intro, whatever, we're gonna get right to the point, and I'm gonna show you guys what the car is. Get ready for it. So there's kind of an interesting story behind this car. I've been looking for R33s. It was been my plan to do an R33 giveaway in 2019. And I was kind of asking around some of my importer friends, and Y-Plate, the place where we got Tommy's JZX90 from, had actually sold this car to someone in Texas that was looking to get rid of it because they wanted to get an R34 over in Japan to hold on to until they become legal. So it worked out great. And we actually bought this car sight unseen based on our friends at Y-Plate, giving us full confirmation that this was a super dialed, super clean example of an R33. And I'm going to switch over to Tommy, who flew into Texas to pick this car up and actually drove it back 1,000 miles. So we're gonna switch over to him, and then we'll regroup at the end of the video, and we'll go over stuff that's done to the car, our plans, and how you can enter for a chance to win this beautiful R33 Skyline.
What's up, guys? So right now, look at that, we're at Buc-ee's. So if anyone knows about Buc-ee's, obviously that means that we are in Texas, and I'm in Texas for a reason, work related. I flew out here instead of driving for a very good reason, and it was to pick up a car. But I'll show you guys that in a little bit. I decided to hop on a plane to help Adam out and go pick this car up. This is different. Driving a 90s Nissan halfway across the country. It's 1,000 miles from where I'm at right now back to Orlando. If it's gonna break, it's gonna break driving around the city, and the previous owner said he drove it around for a couple hundred kilometers around the city and everything was good on it. So someone's looking at me, so this is getting real awkward. I'm excited. Obviously I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't. So here it is. It is a 93 R33 Nissan Skyline, and it's pretty good. It's funny because it's from the same company that I got my JZX90 from. So it just happened, it wasn't from them, but the previous owner bought it through them. So it should be a solid car and make it home, right? I flew in this morning, caught a really early flight, and we're gonna try to make it back in one day, just because obviously we got plenty of stuff to do back home, and it's kind of close enough to, it's pushing it driving that far, but it's doable, and I've done it more than enough times. I know the route and everything like that, so I'm not too worried about it. Got some food from Buc-ee's, about to mount, you know, well, can't talk, eat. Stupid. Filled it up, eat here, hit the road, Adam style, literally anywhere you can. I was just sitting here thinking, eat. Stupid. It's really cool hopping on a flight for like a couple hours and being in a completely different place. I don't know, it's because I've done it so much, but like driving to places, like road tripping, stupid. Get to see stuff that you don't see from a plane, because a plane, you see it take off, you know, you're sitting in a window, whatever, you see it, you take it off, and then you see nothing for hours, and then, oh cool, I landed, I'm watching whatever city I'm landing in, that's cool, and then you explore, you know, a certain small area. Orlando to Seattle, miserable drive. The first couple hours are cool, then you're like, oh my god, I have 40 more hours of this. Stupid. Oh my god, I just drove 60 hours across an entire country and saw so much cool stuff that if you would have done it in a 6-hour flight, I don't know how long the flight is, but if you would have done it in a 6-hour flight, you would have stayed watching some movie that you've seen 10,000 times, or listening to the same album that you've listened to 10,000 times, which I did on the flight over here 10,000 times. Eat. And then cool, you check out a, you know, I don't know how to put a number to it, but like 100-mile area. One of the things a lot of people don't, I guess, understand, I should probably eat this. Typical palm trees everywhere, and you got your mountains and stuff like that, or you're driving through Texas and it just out of nowhere, eat 10,000 times. Stupid. There's no more grass. Then you're actually in the desert. It just, everything changes, and then out of nowhere you get to California and it's like, stupid. Seeing the country is like, stupid. I'm rambling, but eat. Take more road trips. I like it. It's fun. Take some with some friends, and I'm sure you guys will have a great time. Continue this journey. I have 980 miles to go. So after driving this thing about probably almost 300 miles, it's safe to say that this thing's pretty normal. It drives pretty well. I think it might still have the HICUS, and which is like the rear steer at low speeds, and then I also think it might still have the stuff where like it's like like the steering adjusts itself how stiff or how soft it is according to how fast you go. Anyways, I don't remember what I was saying before, but yeah, this thing could use a few little upgrades. It's just a stock RB25, so it's not the craziest thing ever, but it drives really nice, shifts really nice. It's not like super bumpy or anything, so that's cool. I'm like on a crappy road right now, but yeah, it'd be it's gonna be a cool daily, and it looks like a GTR. Pro tip on if and when you are taking road trips, just stay like 30 miles away from cities when you're stopping for fuel and everything like that. Usually the areas are a little bit better to get in and out of, and there's less people. One thing that does suck, and a lot of people might think it's cool, is getting a JDM radio in a Japanese car. They don't work in the United States because they read on a way lower FM, so the Japanese radio only goes up to like 90 FM, and in the United States, like ours starts at like 87 or 86 or something like that. So yeah, can't get any music going in this thing. So I've just been playing music on my phone, but it's not that loud. But we make do. This thing gets pretty good gas mileage. Averaging like 20 miles to the gallon on the highway, not bad at all for like a 90s Nissan. A little tunnel action. By the way, we're like underwater right now. This tunnel's crossing through Alabama, and we go underwater, you lose cell phone service, and then you come out, and everything's fine. It's so cool looking at night with all the stuff lit up. The radio changes colors. It takes a while though. Check out this battleship over there. Already back in Florida. Making good time. So gonna keep pushing and just make it all the way back. So just stopped again for fuel, and now we're in Florida, and I got 495 kilometers to the tank, which is 307 miles, and you divide that by 13.8 gallons, which is how much it took to fill up, so that's 22 miles to the gallon. So this thing is cruising, and not a hiccup yet. So let's cross our fingers. I think we got probably another fill up and a half to go, and then we'll be back to the shop. Look how good this thing looks. It's so cool. We made it. Let me move this. There you go. We made it. Car's in the shop. Shop's getting a little full. And yeah, so 24 hold on, let me check the time. Pretty much 24 hours from the time that I got to the airport, which was literally at 5:30 in the morning, to now. It's 5:30 the next day, and we flew to Texas and drove a car that is from the 90s back to 1,000 miles. 1,000 miles this thing made it, getting great fuel mileage, averaging about 22 miles to the gallon, and looking pretty cool while doing it. So yeah, kind of pumped on this thing. It's real sweet, it's comfortable to drive. I mean, even for long distance without freaking stopping. But yeah, whoever wins this is going to be a stupid lucky person. It's going to get a really good car, especially after we're done with it.
I'm kind of building this car as like my ideal street car and all the parts that I would want to put on it. And I've always wanted to put rays on one of my cars, but I never want to pull the trigger on them. But I thought it'd be cool to kind of do something a little bit special on this car. So we got some rays. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, I already did open these. I couldn't contain my excitement. So look at what we have. Some Gramlite 57 DRs. Now this isn't a sponsor deal. I bought these wheels because I thought they would look perfect on the Skyline. I really like the black wheels that I had on it now because I feel like it makes the pink kind of look more aggressive rather than if I had a lighter color wheel on it. So I got these knowing that they would look sweet. They're 9.5 plus 22, so they'll be nice and have a nice little concave to them. But at the same time, they're not too aggressive, like super stance boy wheels, where we'll still be able to fit a pretty meaty tire on this, so the car can get some nice traction and be comfortable to drive around. So these are sick. I'm gonna go get some tires mounted for these so we can get them on the car and see how they look. My first drive in this thing to go pick up the new wheels for it. Figured I might as well. This interior in this thing's so clean. I love it. Got some 235 Nittos for the front, and then got some Federals for the back, and these things look sick. I'm not gonna lie, this thing actually feels faster than my GTR did. I know it's running like about a bar a boost, but it moves. I'm actually very, very impressed with it. But we're gonna make it even better. And the car doesn't really have any good suspension on it right now, so I can't really adjust it. It's all rusted and seized, so obviously we're gonna put some BCs on it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna mount those wheels up just to see how they look. Sick. They fit! Yes. I was like, there isn't a lot of, I mean, I guess there probably is. I could have researched more, but I was just like, I'm gonna make these fit even if they don't fit. And they fit, and they look sick. Yeah, these wheels show off the GTR brakes way more. That's sick. Thing's dope. So looking around the car, I haven't really gotten to see it that much in person. It's literally my first time seeing it. The paint's in really good shape, but for whatever reason, one thing that I wasn't really aware of, the rear end has quite a few random rock chips, which don't really make sense to me. So what I'm probably gonna do is have the rear end repainted, take it, and then as well as the front end has like one chip in the front bumper, and just have the front bumper kind of repaired. It looks like it needs a little bit of fiberglass work down here, and then have that painted along with the rear bumper. And then the paint on it should be really, really dialed. But conveniently enough, our friends from the ag company are actually in town today, and they're gonna help us polish it up and buff it up with Schulman and try to get this thing really shining. Dan, they look sick in the front. What's she gonna look like? Be careful. Dang. It's gonna look sick once it's a little lower.
Oh, that's a big change.
Fitment's like on point too, honestly. Might not even need a roll. That's sick.
Folks alignment though.
It's been rather a minute.
It has been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So we're here again.
What do you think?
I love it, dude. I think
Yeah?
it's awesome, man. I'm excited. It's first Skyline, official Skyline I've ever polished. So we're gonna do a test spot. We're gonna try to find out what's gonna work best, which pad combination, which compound combination. But other than that, let's go walk around it real quick.
So since I'm repainting the front bumper and the rear bumper, I said it was probably a good idea so they could use it as the test spot and not have to worry or stress or anything. Since it is all chipped up, they can kind of figure out the depth of everything with the paint and see how far they can cut into it.
And it's not like we're gonna make that look a whole lot worse, right? It's gonna be shinier chips, if anything. So anyway, other than that, we're gonna be hitting the tires, since these are brand new tires, with the new Optimum tire coating. So I thought this is a good time to test that out and see how well it holds up on this car. We also are, this way, going to be polishing up these things. So these are looking a little yellow, a little dingy. So we're gonna wet sand them, get them cleaned up, hopefully get them looking close to new.
This thing's gonna look sick. I'm excited. What are you guys in town for again?
So we're in town for the Mobile Tech Expo, second year in a row. Hit up Disneyland, for this, or Disney World, second year in a row. And yeah, second car in a row here at the Adam LZ HQ. So.
Last time we did the BMW, and I gave him a ride in the BMW, but it was like having issues and stuff, so we gotta take it out again at the end.
I think we do. Yeah, I think that's gotta be a thing.
We'll go for a quick hit. Sweet. Coolest things to see with detail stuff is when you do the before and after tape line right down the middle. If you guys can see, if you look at it right from the right angle, look at the difference. Now what have you done so far?
So we did a two-step. We used a Rupes wool pad and the last cut compound on a LHR 15 Mark II, and we followed up with a yellow Rupes pad with the last cut compound on the same machine. Finished it out, cleaned it up with an Eagle Edgeless 350, and voila.
So if you guys can tell, that's the line right there. The left side they haven't done, and the right side they have done. Look at that. That's crazy.
And you thought we were going to paint the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting a little worried that we weren't going to be able to get it up to our standards.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Can you guys tell which one is clean?
Driver's side.
Which driver? JDM or USDM driver?
JDM.
Any tips and tricks for anybody at home? We'll just tell them to watch your video.
Watch the video. That's all you need. Yeah.
Look at this ice. You're gonna see 10 times farther at night now. Look at that. That's a crazy transformation. The transformation of this car from what it was is insane. I didn't even get to appreciate how bad it was before, or now it's already phenomenal, which is amazing because we're gonna shoot some photos with this car this weekend, so it was like really perfect timing. So thank you very much.
No problem, man.
There's still a few little final touches to go, but I gotta head out to go film some stuff, and we'll check in tomorrow to see how the finished product came out. But they can check out everything you did on your channel. Do you want to plug or mention anything?
Yeah, so check out the Rag Company YouTube channel. You can check out theragcompany.com. That's where you have most of the stuff we used in this video on the car here. But check out our YouTube channel. You'll be able to find tons of detailing tips, tricks, tutorials, things like that. We have another video with you that we filmed last year to check out if you haven't seen that yet either. But yeah, Rag Company YouTube channel. Check it out.
Cool. Thanks again, guys. Much appreciated, and this thing came out sick. So I realize now in retrospect that I probably didn't edit or film this video in the most ideal order, but I figured I kind of need to give you guys a walk around of this car, talk about it a little bit, and then how you can enter for a chance to win this beautiful R33. So what we have here is one of the first legal R33s that came into the country. It is a 1993 R33 Skyline GTS T. If you aren't familiar with these cars, they come with an RB25 DET, so it's a turbo 2.5 liter, same exact engine that I have in my Skyline. Mine is obviously a swap though, because mine is an R32 and my car came with an RB20. So it's a very cool little engine. My guess is right now it has a boost controller on it with the boost turned up. It probably makes somewhere in the mid to high 200s maybe, but this one feels really, really healthy. The one in my car was kind of junk. And this car has 120,000 verified kilometers on it. So if you aren't familiar with the conversion, that's about 75,000 miles. So for 93, this car is very, very, very low mileage, and it feels and presents itself that way. Look how nice the interior is. Extremely clean. Very nice, no cracks or any imperfections in the dash. These seats are actually R33 GTR seats, so they're like the perfect OEM plus seat, exactly what I would have put in this car if it only had stock seats. They're super comfortable and they hold you into the seat well, and they actually come with a cool little like purple insert. That's how they come. So pretty cool. If you notice too, the car has a half cage. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not. Maybe you guys can help me decide on that. It does make the factory seatbelt operation kind of weird, but I thought it might be cool to take it out and have it powder coated a cool color. The car does have an oil temp and a water temp gauge, which is really nice, and I told you it has a boost controller. Other than that, in the interior, it's fairly simple. Could probably use a radio, maybe a shifter. It's nice. Now, I'm not going to go into too much crazy detail about all the plans for the car because I want some of the stuff to be a little bit suspenseful. Maybe you guys can give me some suggestions and stuff, but I'll tell you the few plans that I do have that are relevant, since at the end of this video, I'm assuming you might want to enter for a chance to win, so you should probably know the direction that this car is going to be taken. As I said before, I'm going to have the rear end repainted to fix up some of these chips. Again, I have no idea where they came from. The exhaust on this thing, this car is an HKS high power muffler and full exhaust, and it sounds really, really good. Could use a little polishing, but This is a GTR spoiler if you're not familiar, and then the rest of the car kind of has like a aftermarket kit. I don't know what brand it is. It looks pretty cool though, and it makes it flow really well with the GTR bits. As I already showed you guys, I got rid of the stock wheels that came on this car and replaced them already with some Ray's 57 DRs. It's got nice drilled and slotted rotors, and then the front of this car actually has GTR brakes, which is very cool. But overall, it's a really cool looking car, and it kind of caught my eye just because the color is a little bit different. I don't like things that are too plain. Like, I think this car is sick. Even though it's not OEM paint, it's still a really nice, really cool looking paint job, and I don't know, this thing would have been boring if it was like white. Came on our R33 GTR wheels and they're just pretty beat up and everything, so I think we made a nice change. Can't see under the car right now, you'll just have to take my word for it. It's a very clean chassis. The rear end has a tiny amount of surface rust on a few different parts, but we're gonna take care of that. But other than putting this car on coilovers, since it is going to be a street car, that is going to be kind of the direction of this build. Kind of like I have my Skyline, except with all the drift mods that make it not as nice for driving around on the street. I just want to build this as a very fun street car that anyone could drive around town, keep AC, a nice power level, keep it comfortable and safe. Under the hood's where we're going to talk about most of the stuff. Being that I wanted this to be a simple and reliable build, I didn't want to pull the engine. However, the attitude that I'm coming at this project is basically building it as if it were going to be my car that I'm going to keep. And frankly, this engine bay is not up to my standards. It's not painted the same color as the car. You can obviously see that this was the color before. And as much as I could clean this up, I feel like it's very important to me that if I'm giving away a car that has any relation to me with it, that this engine bay is transformed. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull the engine, we're going to rip out the engine bay, clean it up, and we're going to paint it. I don't know what color we're going to paint it. Maybe you guys can help me decide. I was thinking that it would be cool to do a midnight purple to contrast the pink that the car is. The car's kind of like a fuchsia. It's hard to explain. But I thought it'd be cool to do a contrast color rather than paint it the same. And if we end up keeping the cage, maybe do it the same color, because that purple looks pretty cool contrasting. But please feel free to give me some input because I don't really know. Our plan with it right now is to get the car right around a safe, reliable 400 horsepower. I've been speaking a lot with Jack Cecil from HP Logic. He deals with these cars all the time, and he's gonna help me get it set up and tuned, and he said 400 should be a nice, safe number, keeping the engine stock, just upgrading the studs to be preventative. But obviously we're gonna pull it out. We'll do a bunch of kind of like maintenance and service to it, even though it doesn't need it being such a low mileage engine, and seeing that it already had service done recently. We're still gonna put a lot of nice parts in here, upgrade all the important bits, make it look nice, and have this turn into, it'll be a really rad transformation, seeing this ugly engine bay get transformed into kind of what my Skyline engine bay looks like, if not better. The Rag Company guys did a phenomenal job polishing this car and coating it, so this should last a very long time and be very easy to keep clean and look nice. I mean, look at how nice they even got this trim looking. This was all faded and destroyed before. It looks like brand new now, so really hyped on how nice this car looks. It already drives really nice, and frankly, we could give it away just like it is now, but that's not cool, that's not special. I like building cars, so this kind of gives me an excuse to build an R33. I actually wanted an R33 instead of my R32, but I wasn't able to find any. And it's a very cool looking car. I know some people aren't too crazy about them, but especially when they have the GTR wing, it's very sick. So entering for a chance to win this Skyline is very simple. Just like our last giveaway, you can purchase merchandise from our web store, lzmfg.com, and every $5 you spend gets you entered for a chance to win this Skyline. Now we're doing a little bit different than last time, and it's not the collective everything on my website because it got very messy and confusing last time. So we're keeping it really simple, and we actually created some merch specifically for the giveaway. We have a few different packs available, and we'll be adding stuff as time goes by. This giveaway isn't gonna be going on for a very long time, actually just under a month. The giveaway actually ends on February 12th, so pretty soon, but I think we have more than enough time to build this car and get it up to standard. I'm very excited, so is Alberto, so is Tommy. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're all just gonna tackle it together. Honestly, we're shooting to have the car built in the next 2 weeks, so that way we can dyno it, test it, drive it around, and make sure everything's super solid. Now, unfortunately, because of the whole legal side of doing a giveaway like this, we are only able to extend this giveaway opportunity to legal residents of the 48 main states of the United States. And you do have to be over 13 years of age or older to enter, but obviously if you're not of age, you need someone to claim it for you. And in addition to the car, if you are the one who wins, you will also get $5,000 cash, basically intended so you can pay for the taxes that you'll need to pay when you claim your prize. So it's a very, very cool little project, and I'm excited to do it. I know last time, our last giveaway was definitely more of a budget build because I was trying to show you guys how you could build a sick 350Z drift car on a budget, where this car is gonna be kind of me buying the parts that I would for my personal car and making just a really nice street car that you could have fun with, ripping around the block, maybe taking it to an autocross day, or probably even drifting if you wanted to as well. If you'd like to enter, all you have to do is go to our website. There'll be a link in the description, and there you can find the official rules and all the merchandise that will be eligible for you to enter this giveaway. I'm very excited. I wanted an excuse to get an R33 and to build an R33 because now that they're legal, it's a very, very special car to have, and it's cool that this one looks just like an R33 GTR. Look at my little chair that I was sitting in. How cute. Whoops. I hope you guys are stoked on this. It's definitely a special car, and I'm very, very excited to build it. And feel free to please give me input on things that you might like to see me do with it, because anything that we do have to order, any parts that we do have to get, I need to know like now, because in order to get the parts in time and to be able to put them on and properly build the car how we want to do it, we're gonna need them. But we will be following up in the following videos and kind of going over more in detail the specific parts that we'll be doing, the different types of service and maintenance we'll be doing to the RB25, how we're kind of going about achieving the power goal that we want, how we're doing it safely, and how we're gonna build this car so it can be reliable and run well for anyone who wins it in any state, in any climate, in any elevation. It's very important to me that this thing stays dialed. So anyway, there it is, been revealed, and I hope you guys are as excited as we are. And everybody's been working super, super hard, so we are going to take the weekend off, and we're gonna get started on this car on Monday. So it'll be a little bit before you see any more videos on this car. But once we jump into it, we're going full fling. So it's gonna be sick. So anyway, thanks guys, and I will see you tomorrow.